Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to the My Caribbean Upbringing in the Croix series, where I'll share the people, places, and the moments that shaped me into the person I am today. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to support my ancestral journey. Every life begins with a single breath, a single cry, and a story waiting to unfold. This story doesn't begin with memories of my own. It begins with the stories lovingly passed down by the people who welcomed me into the world. On Sunday, August 18th, 1991, at 5:17 in the evening, I was born as Michael Anthony Reynoso, where my journey began in a hospital on the beautiful island of St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Like every newborn entering the world, my first cry announced that I had arrived. It was the beginning of a life that none of us could yet imagine, a life that would eventually lead me to rediscover my ancestry, embrace my Caribbean roots, and tell these stories today. My family would later describe me as a quiet and observant baby. I wasn't constantly fussing or demanding attention. I was content simply watching the world around me, taking everything in before I even had the words to describe it. There was one story that always stayed with me. Long after I was born, as was told by my mother, a young sheep appeared outside on the grass near our home. No one expected it to be there. It simply appeared. Whether you see it as a coincidence, symbolism, or something more, my mother never forgot it. Throughout history, sheeps have represented peace, innocence, guidance, and new beginnings. Looking back today, I can't help but wonder if that quiet visitor somehow reflected the path my life would take, a journey of faith, family, discovery, and purpose. Sometimes the smallest moments become the ones we remember the most. As a baby, I was baptized, or people call it christening, by my godfather. While I was far too young to understand the meaning of that day, it became one of the earliest moments where family, faith, and love came together to welcome me into the community that will help raise me. Long before I could make choices for myself, people who loved me were already praying for the future. There is one person whose sacrifice made every chapter of my life possible: my mother. She was only 18 years old when I was born. Like many young adults, life did not unfold exactly as planned. She had earned a full ride scholarship, a remarkable opportunity that could have taken her life in a completely different direction. But when she learned she was carrying me, she faced a decision that would change both of our lives forever. She chose me. She gave up that opportunity and accepted the enormous responsibility of becoming a young mother. That choice required courage, perseverance, and a love that can never truly be measured. It would have been easy to walk away. Many young parents become overwhelmed by fear, uncertainty, or circumstances beyond their control. But my mother didn't. She stayed. She protected me. She loved me. And because of her unwavering commitment, I am here today telling this story. My father was not present in the way I needed while I was growing up. So all of the responsibility fell on my mother's shoulders and the family who surrounded us with love. Their support became the village that helped raise me. As I have grown older, I have come to appreciate just how much strength it took for a young woman to keep moving forward despite the challenges she faced. Her resilience became one of the first examples of unconditional love I would ever know. I was incredibly fortunate to begin life surrounded by people whose love shaped my earliest years. My late grandmother, Irene Francis, was one of the remarkable people, although her formal education ended after the sixth grade. Her wisdom reached far beyond any classroom. During the second half of her life, she opened her home and heart by fostering children, giving love and stability to young lives that needed it the most. She taught through kindness, generosity, and quiet strength. Her legacy wasn't measured by diplomas, it was measured by the countless lives she touched. Another extraordinary person was my late uncle, Calvert Clark. My uncle was born deaf, but anyone who knew him understood that love speaks a language beyond words. He helped raise me with patience, consistency, and unwavering care. Every day, he made sure I was safe, cared for, and surrounded by love while helping my young mother at the time. He also carried himself with remarkable responsibility, always arriving to work on time and setting an example through his actions. Looking back now, I recognize just how much those everyday acts of dedication meant, not only for me, but for our family. Love isn't always spoken. Sometimes it's shown in a quiet routines, dependable presence, and the sacrifices people make without asking for recognition. Looking back, I realize that our earliest years are built less on the memories we keep and more on the love that others poured into us before we could remember. My story began with a first cry, a peaceful spirit, a mysterious sheep grazing outside, the blessing of christening, and a family that surrounded me with love. Those first months laid the foundation for everything that followed. Thank you for joining me on this journey. In the next episode, we will explore what it was like growing up as a young child in St. Croix, attending schools, discovering the island's culture, neighborhood life, and the experiences that made the Caribbean feel like home. My name is Michael Reynoso, and this is the African Latino. Peace and blessings, everyone.